Legislative elections are currently scheduled to be held in Argentina on the 14th of November 2021. Half of the seats in the Chamber of Deputies and a third of the seats in the Senate will be renewed. The election had previously been scheduled to take place on the 24th of October 2021, but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Open, simultaneous and mandatory primaries were previously scheduled to take place on the 8th of August 2021, but will now take place on the 12th of September 2021, having also been postponed due to COVID-19. There were proposals, backed by the ruling Frente de Todos, to scrap the primaries altogether due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The proposals were opposed by the Juntos por el Cambio opposition. In June 2021, it was agreed to reschedule the primaries alongside the general election instead. 127 out of 257 seats in the lower chamber will be renewed, while 8 provinces will each renew their 3 senators, in total accounting for 24 out of 72 seats in the upper chamber. Both executive and legislative offices were renewed in 2019 in Argentina. Both elections were won by the Frente de Todos, a new coalition formed by a number of Peronist and Kirchnerist parties and alliances to support the presidential ticket of Alberto Fernandez and former President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner. The Frente de Todos coalition won 64 out of 130 seats up for grabs in the lower house in the last election, thus currently accounting for 120 seats in the 2019 to 2021 period, 9 seats short of a majority. The second minority and largest force in the opposition is the coalition formed to support former President Mauricio Macri, Juntos por el Cambio, which won 56 seats in the Chamber of Deputies in 2019 and presently counts with 115 seats, following defections from its inter-bloc. As early December 2020, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in Argentina prompted discussions on whether the 2021 elections, as well as the open, simultaneous and mandatory primaries, should be delayed and rescheduled. A majority of provincial governors initially suggested scrapping the PASO primaries altogether. The Juntos por el Cambio-led opposition in Congress, however, opposed the measure and introduced a bill to forbid the national government from cancelling the primaries. The national executive, led by President Alberto Fernández of the Frente de Todos, initially supported the measure, but later reached an agreement with Juntos por el Cambio to reschedule both the primaries and the legislative election for a month later. The new electoral calendar was published on the 4th of August 2021. The PASO primaries, originally scheduled for the 8th of August 2021, were rescheduled for the 11th of September 2021, while the legislative election, originally scheduled for the 24th of October 2021, were rescheduled for the 14th of November 2021. In order to hold both elections, in which all citizens between the ages of 18 and 70 are legally obligated to vote, the government and the National Electoral Chamber established a safety protocol which included a 30% increase of voting places and the vaccination of all electoral authorities. In addition, those who may exhibit COVID-19 symptoms or were in close contact with a positive case may be exempt from voting. The 257 members of the Chamber of Deputies are elected by proportional representation in 24 multi-member constituencies based on the provinces. Seats are allocated using the D'Hondt method with a 3% electoral threshold. In this election, 127 of the 257 seats are up for renewal for a 4-year term. The 72 members of the Senate are elected in the same 24 constituencies, with 3 seats in each. The party receiving the most votes in each constituency wins 2 seats, with the third seat awarded to the second-placed party. The 2021 elections will see 1/3 of senators renewed, with 8 provinces electing 3 senators: Catamarca, Chubut, Córdoba, Corrientes, La Pampa, Mendoza, Santa Fe and Tucumán.